Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Chiro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. Where's the website? Hopefully I got that on there right. Alright, so they're Llewellyn products. There's the website llewellyn.com, and there's some other social media links. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. Website for this one is shewhoisart.com. I think there's a couple other ones back there. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you're interested in. And I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice. For the major arcana, 22 I use a 0 for the fool, because there's 21. Yeah, you know. And I have a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. They came from, is it Math Art Fun? MathArtFun.com. So if you're interested in any of that, that's where they came from. Alright. That being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and now on to your read. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? Things want to go out of order, but I don't think they will. There is this kind of nervous energy that things aren't going in the proper order, but I keep getting that, just to start with. I don't think we're going to have a problem. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So, it's at the bottom of this piece of the deck I picked up, which tells me there's a lot coming in with this Ace of Pentacles. It's coming in from the environment. I don't think you're creating it, but you might be added into it, which may be okay with you. Let's keep going forward. I do want to make sure I get these cards out too. Ooh. Things moving forward. Somebody else is making something happen. That you might be in, I wanted to say in control of. Well, let's see. Let's get a little farther before we get too deep into that. The base part of this situation, there's a lot going on. Somebody's moving things around. Somebody who makes random decisions. There's a world energy coming in with the Two of Pentacles. Information might have recently come to you. But whatever's been going on has been going on for a while. Could be health concerns. It could be somebody making financial decisions. It could be somebody doing a job change or moving. Somebody has been working at moving or doing these things, whatever that was, whatever it might be hitting for you. Somebody's been working at this for a while, but the information might have just came to you very quickly. This is a speed card. I feel like it's information, though. And there is the Six of Swords coming in, like somebody's just releasing that energy by letting it go. This is usually, the static meaning of this card right here, the Six of Swords, is like moving from troubled waters into more pleasant waters. But I'm getting like this is communication, like somebody's letting go of their burden and letting you know what's been going on, especially because I'm seeing the Six of Cups coming in with it. Something's coming in very fast from the past, like something's been going on for a while, but you just might have been notified about what's really happening here. When this comes in, it does seem like that's a shock to you. It does seem like to somebody else that's bad news. But there's something new manifesting out of this moment. Somebody else is in control. Whatever this bad news is, the grieving, somebody else is in control of it. There might be something you can do to support the process of what's happening next. But I don't really feel decision power with you. I just feel like I'm being notified and I can help out maybe this way or that way. I didn't show it, but I definitely see this in the environment. This is going on around you. They're letting go of the problem. They're letting go of the information, but they're not really happy about it. But it's not about letting go of the information. That's not what they're not happy about. It's what's actually happening they're not happy about. So something is changing. Something's going a different direction. Can we get a little bit more about that? Ace of Cups half in, half out. And the Wheel of Fortune half in, half out. There's hope here. I say that kind of with a grimace in the sense of like, I feel like there's more denial than hope going on here. I feel like people are going on as if things are the same or not changing. The person that told you this stuff maybe has hope. I do think it's false hope though. It's kind of like somebody saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make enough money to buy the house or get myself out of debt." But the way they're thinking they're gonna do it is by going to a casino. It's not really stable. It's not too likely. Is there a possibility? I guess, but not really likely. There's something going on here where the next steps forward could have a more positive energy. Something is changing, and I feel like whatever is changing, that is what it is. This is going to be about like whatever's happening. You just you're going to handle it the way you're going to handle it. I feel like we're moving towards what we're going towards after. Because this is not a situation for you to move forward. I feel like there's something here where I want to try to fix it. I want to try to make it better. I want to improve the situation. I also believe that with the way this situation is constructed, there's the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is not really, that's not really a Virgo thing. In the sense of like its possibilities, sometimes it's dreams, a lot of times it's fantasy. It doesn't have to be, it could be possibilities. But it's all like in the ether. It's all like in the fog. There's not enough here to actually build from. It's kind of like, here's the possibilities. You got to choose what to make. And it's kind of like, where am I going to go in life? And it's like I have to move. Where am I going to move? But I have to move. And I don't have enough information to really make the best decision. It's kind of like I have 2 days to find a place to live. I just got to find what I can find and just keep going. It's not really Virgo's thing. This is not really your thing. There's not enough stability with this situation for you to actually make out in it the way you want to. I feel like especially if you do try to kind of like push this situation forward, what's going to happen is reality is going to come in because that's the first thing you go for. You want to see what the truth is. What do we actually have happening? What can we actually build from? And if you go forward, you're going to kind of move through the fog and find out that all these possibilities are built on something that's not real. And when you find out what is real, I don't feel like that's the most enjoyable moment. Don't move forward. Research first. Typically, Virgo would do that. For some reason, the situation, the way it feels, you might start moving forward thinking that that's what you have to do. It's kind of feeling like an emergency situation. So, for example, if you're in the living room and you see smoke in the kitchen, the emergency reaction is like, I have to get in there and put that out and, stop that. That's the emergency reaction. With this situation, that's not going to work to your benefit. It makes sense why you would want that, but this is also a situation where if we're going to replay that same situation, you're in the living room, you see smoke in the kitchen, but there's 5 other people in the kitchen. We need to start yelling out, hey, there's an extinguisher on the wall, there's baking soda over there, get away from it, get away from it. Not for nothing. If you can't fix it, get away from it and let somebody in there who can. It's like yelling out the possibilities. Fire extinguisher, it's on that wall. Baking soda, it's over next to the stove. You can't get it. If you can't help, get out of that room. If you can't handle it, get out of that room. If you're not going to be helpful, get out of that room. Like yelling things or like pushing forward information, getting information out there. This isn't your moment to actually actively do something. This is your moment to push forward information. And I get like the Tower coming in with the Moon is like, I'm trying to figure out this. This card popped up right on top of it. The Moon and the Truth. The Moon can help lead you to the truth, but it's kind of like we have to wait for the daylight to come before we can really see what we have around us. So it's like if we're using the Moon to navigate, we get through and maybe we can find where we're supposed to be. But until the sunlight comes up the next day, we're not going to really know what we're dealing with. So it's kind of like more on the information side, gathering information, sharing information, propagating information, if I said that right. That's what it's best to do at this point because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. And if we can push forward information, share what we know, and keep gathering information, that you can create the most stable outcome. this situation is going to be what it is. I feel like it's more about building the resolution after it, whatever that means. So whatever it is, if you're able to use communication as your tool so we're going to use that, like, there's smoke in the kitchen, I'm in the living room, I communicate as strongly as possible. Somebody who can handle that was like, oh, it's a grease fire. And you're like, not water. Do not put water on a grease fire. Not water. Get the baking soda. Use the baking soda. So somebody in the kitchen grabs the baking soda and they put it on whatever it is. It snuffs out the fire. And then you're like, all right, now we got to look at the damage. Now we got to figure out what we did. Now we got to make sure it's actually out. Actually, first step, make sure it's actually out and get people away from it. Did anybody get hurt? Now that we know it's actually out, did anybody get hurt? Do we need to get them help? Going through the process. How much damage is there? Only a little damage. How much is it going to take to fix that? Let's take care of it. Let's also immediately figure out why did that happen and how do we prevent it from happening again. Stuff like that. Communication, that's going to be your strong suit. In this situation, communication is your strong suit because you're going to bring it down to a realistic level. This is what we need to do. This is what needs to be done first. This is what needs to be done second. This is what needs to be done third. This is how we handle this. This is how we make sure it doesn't happen again. These are the safeguards we need, stuff like that. That's where you're helping build this Ace of Pentacle moment because we need to make sure that it makes stable sense. We need to build a very stable connection. People are going to follow your lead. They're going to build from your lead. They're going to you're going to say, well, we need to know why this happened. They're going to figure out why and work all that. And then you're going to say, we need to build a plan to make sure this doesn't happen again. They're going to look at all the options and decide what options they want. We need to fix this. They're going to look at what needs to be fixed. You're going to help them. It's like you're kicking you're kicking the ball onto the field and they're playing it, but you keep kicking the ball onto the field. If you weren't there to kick the ball on the field, this might not move forward. That's the thing. Because other people are manifesting a solution, but you keep pushing the ball into play. I feel like that's what this is. This situation is about you kicking that ball into play. Keep kicking that ball back into play. Somebody needs to. You're going to be very happy with the outcome. It's not something you're in total control of, but I don't feel like you want to be either. But they're saying with this situation, what this situation really needs and how you lend your energy to it, how you can make it a better situation. Keep kicking the ball into play, but it's not just randomly kicking it out there. You're kicking it in a direction. You're like, we need to go that way, and you kick the ball that way into play. We need to do this. We need to get to the other side of the field. You kick it over in that direction, and you tell people that's where it needs to go. Get something over there. So you're kind of directing, but not controlling it. You're just kind of it needs to go over there, and that's what you need to solve, and you kick the ball in that direction. That's what I keep getting. So you're kind of kicking the ball into play, and also giving some instruction, this needs to be solved first, and you kick it into that place. So you're kicking the ball into play on this field. Finish this field first. When that's done, you're like, all right, I'm kicking it into play over to this other field. That game is over. New game. Kicking the ball into play over here. I feel like, if you're able to do this, if you're willing to take that, it does seem to take a lot of stress off of you, ironically, because I feel like as the information comes, as new information comes to you, you add it in, you build it up, and then you remind people, this is what we found in the first part, so we're taking this over to the second part. Now we got to build from this, kicking ball into play, over into that direction. So you're kind of organizing. I still don't see you controlling it or making decisions, really, but I do see you organizing and kicking the ball into play. Again, I feel like you don't want to be in control of it. It's kind of like, no, I don't want to be. So it will work, whatever the situation is. It will keep moving forward. I feel like this reading is about just helping you keep yourself at a level keel to where you feel like things are happening and things aren't stagnating. Because this situation could stagnate, and I feel like that would be very painful, and that would really be heavy energy that might last for way too long. So they're saying, in order for that not to happen, first of all, don't do it yourself. Kick the ball into play. Get with communication. Kick the ball into play, and keep organizing the information you receive, and keep reminding the other people where you are, where things are, and what they've gathered, and keep kicking the ball into play. So it's almost like you're gathering. It almost feels like a librarian energy. I'm gathering information and I'm organizing it, and I'm reminding people what's here and how far we've gone and where we need to go next. And I'm trying to kick the ball into play into that direction. And people are kind of following your lead. And like, oh, that's what we need next. I can do that. Let me do that. They gather, and you telling people gather this information. They gather that. You're also gathering your own information. It's kind of like you're helping people move forward. I feel like it's more like a coordinator. So I feel like you're coordinating the success that you're a part of, that you're going to be included in. All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.